What happened when doctors dismissed my pain for weeks, only for a CT scan to reveal the truth they tried to ignore? It was supposed to be a routine surgery, just a quick procedure to remove my appendix. I was nervous, of course, but the doctors reassured me it would be simple. You'll be home in a few days, they promised. I clung to those words as they wheeled me into the operating room, the lights blinding, the air cold and sterile. I told myself that thousands of people had this surgery every year. Nothing could go wrong, right? The first few days after surgery seemed normal. Soreness, fatigue, the usual, but as weeks passed, something felt wrong. My stomach swelled painfully. I couldn't keep food down. Nights where the worst sharp stabbing pains left me doubled over, sweat soaking my sheets. When I went back to the hospital, the surgeon brushed me off. It's just normal recovery pain, he said. Give it time. He didn't order tests, didn't really listen. I went home feeling unheard, carrying his confidence like a heavy blanket that smothered my doubts. The pain only grew worse. I lost weight rapidly, my skin pale, eyes sunken. At school, friends whispered about how thin I looked. My family begged doctors to take me seriously, but each visit ended with the same dismissive words, be patient. Some even suggested it was stress or diet related. I started doubting myself, wondering if maybe I really was overreacting. But deep down, I knew something was wrong. My body was screaming, and no one wanted to listen. One night, the pain was unbearable. I collapsed in the bathroom, vomiting blood. My mother's scream still echoes in my ears. She called an ambulance, her hands trembling as she tried to keep me conscious. The paramedics rushed in, their radios crackling, their faces grim. We need to move now, one of them said. The ride to the hospital was a blur of sirens and fear. I remember gripping my mom's hand, whispering, don't let me die. In the ER, a young resident finally did what others hadn't. He ordered a CT scan. Minutes later, the truth appeared on the screen. A surgical sponge had been left inside me. It had caused a massive infection, my organs swelling in response. The resident's face was pale as he explained. I needed emergency surgery immediately. I remember lying on the gurney, tears streaming down my face, anger mixed with fear. All those weeks of being told to wait it out, all the gaslighting from doctors, and the whole time, the source of my suffering was something they had left behind, something that should never have happened. The second surgery saved my life, but recovery was brutal. The infection had ravaged my body. I spent weeks in the hospital, hooked up to IV antibiotics, too weak to walk without help. Nurses whispered apologies, while doctors avoided my eyes. My surgeon never visited me once. The silence was louder than any words. My mother sat by my bed every night, her anger simmering just below the surface. She kept repeating, they almost killed you. When I was finally discharged, thinner, weaker, and angrier than I'd ever been, my family filed a complaint. The hospital launched an investigation. Reports confirmed what we already knew, negligence. A checklist had been skipped during my surgery. The sponge wasn't accounted for, and I paid the price. The hospital settled quietly, of course. No headlines, no public acknowledgement. Just money to make us go away. But money couldn't erase the scars on my body, or the months of agony that could have been avoided. It couldn't erase the memory of doctors dismissing my pain, making me feel invisible. It couldn't erase the way I woke at night, certain the pain would return. Family gatherings turned into whispered conversations about suing, about accountability. My grandmother cried when she saw how frail I looked. My little brother asked if I was going to die. Their faces, more than the pain, are what haunted me the most. Negligence hadn't just scarred me, it had scarred everyone who loved me. Even now, years later, I still flinch when I feel stomach cramps. Panic grips me before I remind myself it's not the same. But I also carry something else, a determination to never stay silent again. I speak up at every appointment, ask every question, demand every test. I refuse to let anyone dismiss my pain again, because I learned the hardest way possible. Negligence doesn't just hurt, it betrays. And sometimes surviving means becoming louder than the silence that almost killed you.